I'm just going to talk a little bit about the beloved community and how important that is. I think when Dr. King coined that phrase, it was really powerful. And I think it suggested that, to me, that communities are, well, I'll tell you what I think of. I think of the phrase from Jesus when he was baptized by John the Baptist, and he was immersed in the water, and it came out of it, and the Holy Spirit descended and said, "This is my beloved child in whom I'm well pleased." And that concept of being beloved means that we feel the presence of God loving us. We feel that we are loved. And because we feel that sense of being loved, we're capable of loving others deeply. And for me, the beloved community starts with love. The feeling of being worthy of love, and therefore being able to see others as worthy of love too. And that, I think, for Dr. King, who was very much influenced by the gospel, was perhaps what he was thinking of when he talked about the beloved community. And he was talking about a community where everybody knows that they are loved, and therefore they're able to practice justice, because justice is really love with a public face. Love is what we do when we treat others the way we want to be treated. So the beloved community is about racial justice. It's about treating the environment as if we're part of it, as if it's part of who we are, and therefore we are stewards and caregivers for the environment because we love it, and it, in a sense, loves us back. It gives us all that we need. And because we're a beloved community, we're opposed to anything that's destructive. All forms of violence, such as, of course, war and executions, and any other forms of verbal violence, including not telling the truth, which is a form of verbal violence. And I want to say all of that because this weekend, when we had our event for Making Housing and Community Happen, I felt we were like ICUJP, and I feel very strongly that we're part of the beloved community because we embody all the values that I just talked about. Our little nonprofit was so inspiring to be part of it. I felt it was much bigger than me and Jill. I felt it was really God at work in our community in Pasadena and beyond, bringing together diverse elements and people of diverse ethnic and racial backgrounds, people who are across the political spectrum. We had Trumpers as well as Democrats who came in, because I think people across the political spectrum all agree that homelessness and housing insecurity need to end. And we must work together to ensure that everybody has a decent, clean, safe, and affordable home. And that was the theme of our event. There's no place like home. You know, it's an old kind of nostalgic phrase, but it touches us deeply in our hearts because all of us yearn for and all of us need a safe home to come back to. Sadly, far too many people don't have a home. Over 60,000 people in our LA County are sleeping on the street this Christmas. And, you know, we came together in our organization, in our community, to try to do our best to make sure that at least where we live in Pasadena and beyond the San Gabriel Valley, everyone has a home. So it was inspiring to see we honored some of our elected officials. Margaret McGostin, who's leaving the council, she championed Marv's Place, which is a place that houses 19 formerly homeless families. We had Council Member John Kennedy, who's been advocating for 1,000 units of affordable housing to be built in our city in the next 3 years for low, very low, and extremely low income people. So he's counting on us to support him in his bold vision for Pasadena. We also had activists like Allison Henry, who works with Everyone In, and Bert Newton, who is helping us to bring together a network of churches throughout our city to work for housing justice. And we had people who were formerly homeless who gave their testimony about how being housed transformed their lives. And you know, it was very moving. So I feel uplifted. I feel hopeful, at least on our local level. Democracy is working, and we're able to come together around the beloved community. And that's a sign that we can make a difference beyond our local community, because other communities are looking now to what we've done here in Pasadena. One of the things we've done that's been very exciting was getting the city council to approve 112 units of affordable housing right smack dab to City Hall. So visitors who come to see our majestic City Hall and all of its, you know, where often wedding pictures are taken because it's so beautiful. Right next door, low income and formerly homeless people are living in decent, clean, lovely housing. That makes a powerful statement to other cities and to others around our city. There's nothing about affordable housing that is scary or needs to be, you know, that will reduce property values or create crime. No, quite the opposite. Affordable housing helps to create a safer and better community. And our city of Pasadena has now made that very clear. We have a new mayor. We're not crazy about him, to be honest. We can't work with him as easily as we did the former mayor, but he has made affordable housing a priority. So I'm just sending him a letter of congratulations. We hope to work with him to achieve the goals that we all have as a city. We want to end homelessness in Pasadena. We want to end housing insecurity. We want to make sure that our people of color don't get displaced from our city because of gentrification. We want to make this city a place where everyone can have a home. So I'm going to end with a quote from the prophet Micah 4:4. You've probably heard it many times, but it's very appropriate. It's the passage in when Micah where it says that everyone will live under their own vine and fig tree and unafraid in peace. And this is prefaced by the phrase that nations will beat their swords into plowshares and learn war no more. So in closing, I want to say that ending war and making sure that everyone has safety in their homes is the priority in my life. It's what I'm seeking. And I'm aware that I'm not alone. I'm part of the beloved community. I'm part of ICUJP. I'm part of Friends Committee for National Legislation. I'm part of making housing and community happen. We are a beloved community. We are each of us loved. We're worthy of love. And because of that, we can love others with our whole hearts and work together for justice. So thank you, friends, for giving me this chance to speak my heart to you.